All right, good afternoon and welcome back to our channel Prince's Seat. Today remains the 19th of September 2025, and the information you're just about to listen to was an interview that was granted to Pastor Obiagu, and he made some strong statement about the whole issue of the pioneer subscriptions. According to him, the people who fueled scams were not the real initiators of Pioneer, but rather the subscribers themselves. He also, one of the things he mentioned was that the idea of putting down something like 3,000 or 5,000 or something like that with the hope of getting 1 billion naira was nothing short of greed. And in his view, it was this kind of thinking that gave room for scams to thrive. I'm going to leave you to listen to this, and I'm going to do a holistic review and also submission to his own opinion and assertion when it comes to Pioneer. So I want you to take your time and listen to the end so that you can get every details concerning this, and let's set the record straight. Thank you very much. Pay attention to this.
Nigerians doesn't like anybody that is good. What Nigerians like is liars.
And it's so obvious.
So if you were convinced with 3,000 naira you will get 30 million and you paid, you are the highest scammer. Or don't you think so? The people that collected the 3,000 from you are not scammers. So you that paid the 3,000 to get 30 million is a scammer. Because it's greed. You can't tell me such cock and bull story and I will listen to you. Because I am a self-made. I know what it takes to get 500,000. I know what I will put, the effort, the energy I will put before I can make 500,000 naira profits. And you're coming to tell me if I put 200,000, I'm going to get 100 billion. I will look at you and laugh. If I don't want to abuse you, I just off my phone. But my dear, what is going on is you people. You people are what is going on. Until you people stop to dash them money, Obviously. They will not stop to extort you. And they will not stop to tell you disbursement is now, disbursement is next week, disbursement is coming 2 days time. They will not stop because they want you to bring more money. By the way, let me even ask you, why did you call me? When everybody call me and I have opportunity to pick, like I pick yours now, I will ask them, why do you say? Because we trust you. Have the populace that say they trust Obiagu, have they asked why is Obiagu not talking?
That is the question.
And you people didn't ask for just one grant too. They have baptized one grant. So the alphabets to baptize don't finish. No problem. IMF, CBN, Pioneer. Once this one is done, possibly on I go see here will be my grant. And on I go still pay. You guys will still pay because my name is there. So on I go pay. Nigeria is the problem of Nigeria. There is no foreign aid, no foreign kind of conspiracy. We are the conspirators of our problem. Because we don't believe a good person. We don't even like truth. So my dear, nothing is happening than you.
Wow.
The change start from you. Is there money? Yes. When will it be disbursed? I don't know. So let them be telling you this week, next week. Pioneer. We want to see that kind of money.
All right. Thank you very much for listening to this interview, and you've been able to draw one or two inferences from his words. A lot of people have passed a comment and also slammed at him and indicted him, called him a scammer himself, called him coming too late to talk about this, called him that is one of those who also, swindled people in the Granicus. A lot of things have been said concerning Pastor Obiagu after this particular interview. So, but with what he's saying here, part of the backdrop of what he's saying is that the real initiators of this pioneer scheme are not the real scammer, but the subscribers who encourage them by paying into their account for this. They are the ones that are fueled by greed. And if there was nobody to sponsor or to fuel that particular organ, that pioneer will not be a success in the first place. All right. So, but then I think that is his opinion, and everyone is entitled to their opinion. But we must also set the record straight, and that's why I'm here to provide justice to the pioneer and the subscribers on this wing. Now, my own stand has always been clear from the beginning. The amount quoted by a lot of people, or whether by Ngozi Israel or Pastor Donald or Reverend Elibo, that figure in billions, my own stand, don't forget my opinion, that has never been somehow feasible. And to handle such a humongous amount to one person, it looks very much unrealistic and not feasible. Now, the thought of that amount overnight being handled over to one person or one category of people is not reasonable to the natural mind. It is far from feasible, and anybody who truly sat down to calculate would also know this truth somehow. But be that as it may, admitting that the quoted amount is not feasible does not mean that the pioneer as a project is fake. No. There is a huge difference between feasibility of calculation and the genuineness of a system. Now, at some point, I discovered that Osim also shared a parable concerning this matter. There was one particular write-up that he gave then, I remember, and I sent it on this platform. What he said was, you cannot be in the river and still have soap entering your eyes. He was, what he meant by this very simple statement was that the leaders of the UAG knew the truth of what they were doing. But instead of being clear to the masses, they used Pioneer as a means to raise money while they waited for the UAG grant to be delivered. So it was like trying to find the survival system before the main goal was achieved. That was his submission concerning the entire issue of Pioneer. Now, but let me speak personally. From the onset, I did not join Pioneer, as many of you knew here. I've talked about it many times. I watched from a distance. I observed the noise, the promises, the projections, and the constant talk that was surrounding it. And a lot of people rushed into it, and some were invited by their friends, other by pastors and coordinators, while some just wanted to be part of what looked like an opportunity of a lifetime. But as for me, I kept my calm. Later, after much research, much reading, much watching, much of asking questions, I decided to personally subscribe. It was not because anybody forced me or coerced me into it. Nobody sweet talked me into the process. Nobody cajoled me with empty words. The decision was purely mine. The responsibility was also mine. I knew it was a risk, and I accepted that risk personally. For everything as an investment is a risk, including life itself. Everything in life is a risk. You pay for a flight ticket to a country or a state where you don't know whether your plane is going to crash before you get there, but you have the faith that you're not paying for your death. You enter there, you go to bed, you close your eyes, you say goodbye till tomorrow morning. Do you know whether you're going to wake up tomorrow? In fact, the Bible says that, say if God wills. Don't just say, okay, see you tomorrow, but say if God wills. That is to say that everything in life is a risk. Is a risk. So I took the risk personally, and this is the truth that many people must admit. Everyone who subscribes to the Pioneer did so by their own choice. Nobody was tied down. Nobody was forced to pay. Nobody was hypnotized. Some were persuaded maybe by their leaders, yes. Some were motivated by maybe the testimony or whatever thing was looking green there, yes. But at the end of the day, each person clicked the button. Each person brought out their cash. Each person registered with their own free will. It was not a do or die affair. And that means the responsibility cannot be shifted entirely. But let us balance the matter here. There should be a balance to everything. Saying that subscribers fueled scams by Pastor Obiagu does not automatically mean Pioneer is fake. The truth is this. Pioneer as an idea was not fake. But there were fake moves around it. There were fraudulent personalities who hijacked the opportunity and used it in a very wrong way. They used it wrongly. Then there were voices that also painted it with lies and greed. There were leaders who did not manage information properly, and because of that, confusion grew, but the system itself is not fake. The real proof would only come through the disbursement. And once disbursement is done, every doubt would be silenced and truth would also prevail. So that is it. And I think we also need to address the heart of the issue, which is integrity. Yes, integrity. In every financial movement or grand structure of this matter, I think integrity is the pillar that sustains everything. Without integrity, even the best project is going to collapse in the eyes of the people. And that is why today I want to specifically call out the specific leaders who must rise and take responsibility. The leaders in this Pioneer wing, like the Ngozi Israel, the Pastor Donald Obasio Kore, and Reverend Elibo, who are the three names among others that cannot be silent in this matter. They cannot be silent. They are one of the top speaking voices among others. Others exist, but these three projected it because why I'm calling them out is because these are spiritual leaders. Somehow, they are spiritual entity and icon within this ecosystem that when you talk about Pioneer, there should be forces to reckon with. You understand? Their voices are needed now more than ever. They can't be silent. Because the masses are restless. People are asking questions. Doubts are spreading like fire. And the only way to put silence to these doubts is for leaders like them to stand up boldly and clear the air. If truly Pioneer was a genuine pathway that was created as a support system pending the delivery of the UAG grant, they must wash themselves clean of every dross. They must wash themselves clean of every dross, and I repeat that. They must defend their integrity very much openly. They must make sure that nobody accuses them tomorrow of misleading the people. Why? Because these are spiritual icons. They've come out, they've boasted about it, they've talked so much about it. So we shouldn't get to start hearing words like, it's going to come, don't worry, and this and all of those gimmicks and barbados. It shouldn't be part of that. It is very easy to stay quiet. when accusations are flying around. But you see, silence does not solve anything. To me, silence only gives more room for gossip and suspicions. So the people who put their money in Pioneer, they deserve answers. They deserve to know where they stand. They deserve to hear from those that they trusted as leaders. And that is why I strongly call on these leaders to use every available platform to address this publicly. Not with ambiguous talks, not with coded parables, but with plain truth. They had to be. It is also important to note that money is very sensitive. Now, for some people, that whether it's 10,000 or 20,000 that they subscribe with may have looked a little bit small, but for some others, it was a sacrifice. Some people pulled from their feeding money, some from their school fees, some from their savings. And for the poor person, 10,000 is not a play. For a poor person, a struggling mother, 10,000 at this critical time is not play. And that is why they are holding tightly to the hope of what Pioneer promised them. This is why leaders must be careful. It is not about the figures on paper. It is about the lives and emotions attached to those figures. So, in summary, a Pioneer subscription is not fake. The idea is real, but it was surrounded by fake moves and wrong people. Then subscribers to the Pioneer took personal responsibilities. Nobody was forced. Everyone entered by personal decisions because we saw that there was future there. Now, the quoted returns, this is my opinion. Please, this is my opinion. You are free to have your opinion. The quoted figure to me is not feasible. All those 240,000 to get 100 billion to me is not feasible. That doesn't mean that it will not. After all, they came out not too long and says, Ngozi Israel actually came out and says the money is going to be exactly as it was quoted. It is not going to be slashed. There was a time we started hearing of slashing. She said it's not going to be slashed. Other people also came out and clarified that figure is not going to be slashed. But this is my personal opinion, that figure is unrealistic to me, and I'm entitled to my opinion. You can't blame me for that. I just saw that it might not be up to that amount. But if you say it's going to be up to that, fine. After all, I'm a part of subscribers. So you can't say it's because I didn't subscribe, that's why I'm talking like that. I subscribe. If it's up to that, fine. If it's not up to that, fine. But in just my reasoning, 100 billion to 240,000 for full Pioneer, to me, it's not feasible. That doesn't mean that Pioneer subscriptions or subscribers will not be paid, but that it might not be up to that amount that they projected for the project. You understand? Despite it is a project. Then disbursement is the final proof. Until disbursement happens, doubts will remain. But once it happens, all the truth would be settled. Leaders also have to speak up. Silence would only destroy their integrities. Ngozi Israel, Pastor Donald, Reverend Elibo, you must step out and give clarity to the masses. Conclusively, we must all learn lessons from this experience. Hope is good, but also blind hope is dangerous. Trust is important, but misplaced trust can be costly sometimes. Leadership is beautiful, but silent leadership in times of crisis is very harmful. As we all wait for the final outcome of disbursement, I want everyone to stand with truth. Let leaders defend their integrities. Let subscribers remember that they made choices. Let us all pray that this matter ends well, so that shame will not fall on the masses, and integrity will not be lost among our leaders. Only time and action will tell the final story of pioneers. I rest my case. This is Princess Seed. In case you're new here, do subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on vital update. Thank you and do have a nice day. Pioneer is real.